Hey there, and welcome to Matt's Garage. So here we are with the 2020 Dodge Caravan. I know you're not used to seeing brand new vehicles on my channel. It's not often I get the opportunity to get behind the wheel of a brand new vehicle, so I really want to thank Go Dodge and Red Deer for giving me this opportunity. They didn't actually know I was going to be reviewing their van, but they gave it to my parents as a courtesy vehicle. My parents actually just purchased a used vehicle off their lot, and they wanted a chance to detail it up and have it all nice and ready for them, so they went ahead and gave them this brand new van to drive for a couple days in the meanwhile. So if you want to experience really good service from a car dealership, I highly recommend Go Dodge and Red Deer. You won't be disappointed. So here we are, 2020 Caravan. The ultimate utility vehicle as far as I'm concerned. Some of the manufacturers have discontinued their minivans, and I heard rumors Chrysler might be. I think they're still going to have the Pacifica, which is kind of the same idea, but I mean, this thing's just a giant box. How can you beat it for a utility vehicle? Firstly, the elephant in the room here is the styling is getting rather dated now. This is pretty much an 8-year-old design, started in 2008, and my brother actually owns a 2008 Dodge Caravan, and he's been very happy with it. He's got 315,000 kilometers on it currently, which is approaching 200,000 miles, and it's been an excellent vehicle for him. So if you're wondering about long-term reliability, I'd say they're pretty solid vehicles. This one does have the 3.6 liter Pentastar engine in it, and my brother's has the older 3.8 liter engine, which has been great for him, but he does complain about the fuel economy not being the best, and I believe these 3.6 liter engines are much better for that. Some of the earlier 3.6 liter engines did have problems with cam wear, I believe, basically valve train issues that owners were experiencing, but I believe Chrysler's since sorted that all out. If you buy this vehicle, you have so many options. You could run a small business, or get a delivery service. The world is your oyster pretty well when you own a minivan. So, you know, consider that before you go out and buy an SUV or something. You might just need the space at some point. That's what this is extreme amounts of room. You've got seating for 7, or you can take those seats out and, like I said, you can haul building supplies, you could run a small business, you can move your stuff. It's like having a pickup truck, but it's all enclosed, so, and it gets better fuel economy, and it has lower insurance rates. There's a lot of things about owning a minivan that I think people have overlooked. So consider one before everybody stops making them. This, you almost wouldn't believe it was a 2020 model to jump inside here and look around. I mean, they have made some updates since the 2008s, no doubt, but I was a little surprised that they don't even have the screen. I thought that was standard in all newer vehicles. It does have a little screen for the backup camera that lights up in the mirror there. I just got Nash along here, my son, for filming, and he's also sharing his opinions on riding in the back seat area and stuff with me. And overall, we're pretty impressed with this vehicle. I find this shifter kind of funky, but it works well. It's actually nice to use, and the controls are all nice dials. I love it when manufacturers use dials. I hate all the buttons or having it hidden in some screen or something. And it's just very basic, you know, lots of basic storage, you know, nothing's too fancily finished, but it's all practical and just works well. And then I brought her along a random kid just to show off the rear seating area. What do you think, random kid?
I think it's nice and comfortable.
Yeah, so there you heard it here first. That's all I need him for. Overall, it's a nice area to be. The seats are very soft and comfy, which is something I find is lacking on a lot of new vehicles. You sit in them and you don't sink down at all. But these kind of feel like a bit old school seat where you do sink into them a little, and I like that. And it's a really soft fabric they used on here. It's just a very functional interior. It doesn't have a bunch of dumb stuff that's just going to break. It's just kind of the bare essentials. It's got the overhead console with sunglass storage, and it's got that mirror that you can set there and see. You can see the rear seat passenger, so that's kind of handy. Of course, there'd be more options available if you wanted to get a higher trim vehicle. And then I believe under the floor here, it's actually got more storage. So you can open that right up, and the same thing over on the other side. So I mean, storage is something you've got plenty of in this vehicle. So here's something you don't often see in a car review: under the hood. But to me that's an important part because I do all my own vehicle maintenance work and stuff, so I wanted to see how crammed in this 3.6 was and show you guys. So to me it doesn't look too bad actually. The newer vehicles always look intimidating because they have this big plastic engine cover, but I can tell right away if you pop that cover off, and once you get this whole intake system out of the way, then you've got lots of access everywhere. So if you want it to actually self-maintain one of these, it looks like it would be pretty practical to do so. One thing I've heard can be an issue on these vehicles is this is like the TPMI, sorry, something like that. It's like the power center for the van, and these can get water intrusion into them and corrosion and cause electrical issues with your van. I think that's more on the older models. I'm betting they probably solved that issue for this one. This is the 2020. So yeah, everything looks pretty easy to service. I've actually done a collision repair on the front of one of these once, and see, they've got this whole plastic structure here, and it changes out as a whole unit, and it's really slick and easy to work on. So figured I'd mention that. Still just using 5W20 oil, so nothing too crazy there, not like some of them that have gone to like a 0W16 or something proprietary where you have to go into the dealer and get the oil. And your oil filter is right there, I believe, under that housing. So everything's quite accessible if you want to change your own oil or whatever. So this vehicle also has one nice feature for those of you who have long legs like me. It's actually got a telescoping steering column, see? And that's just, you just flip that catch down right there, and it all moves up and down and everything, so it's pretty easy to get to a comfortable seating position. So I just wanted to show it does have a lot of storage in the side pockets here. It's even got like a bottle holder there, and it's got a second little pocket up there, and it's got a nice little light there that lights it all up when the doors open. Really like the black carpeting in here. All the vehicles used to have light gray carpeting and get all stained and stuff, so I think the black would hold up better long term, and it just kind of makes the interior pop nice with that two-toned look there with the black against the lighter color. So the turning radius is pretty good on the van. That's one thing I like. It maneuvers nicely. So I just wanted to get the van out here on this uneven surface and see how it handles. There's some snowpack on this road, and this is a graveled road, and it's normally pretty rough, and so just wanted to check for rattles and how it handles over the bumps and stuff. And it's pretty good. It's not like a super refined ride, but it's not meant to be. It's not a luxury car, it's just a family van, and there's not a lot of creaking or rattling going on. Sometimes I hear the rear panels creak a little bit, but that kind of just, again, comes with the territory with a vehicle like this. But and this one's only fitted with all-season tires, but it doesn't struggle at all on the snowpack. It really easy. See, there was a bit of a rattle in the back there, but nothing that would annoy you. It's not like a constant noise. It's only when you hit a really harsh bump. It's probably just a seatbelt rattling or something back there. Other than that, the van feels really solid over these bumps and stuff. It's not whipping around or anything. It holds its composure nice and straight. You can hear there is a fair bit of feedback and road noise. And again, it's not a luxury vehicle. I'm sure if you opted for the town and country version of this van, there's probably a bit more sound deadening and stuff, and it's probably a bit more refined. But this is just a base model Caravan here, and there's nothing to really complain about, that's for sure. There was a really bad bump right there, and I don't know how it showed on camera, but the van just absorbs it really well. You can certainly feel that you've hit a bump, but it doesn't jar you inside the van here. Well guys, I only have this van, I just got it last night, and we have to return it tomorrow, and I normally like to drive a vehicle quite a bit before I offer up my opinion on it, but I've been just driving this as much as I can and kind of trying to hit a variety of different situations with it. And we've got some snowy weather and stuff, so we're seeing how it handles that, and just getting it on some of these rougher roads. And it seems like it would be a pretty nice vehicle to live with day to day. Certainly adequate. I haven't really found a weakness to it for day-to-day driving. Okay guys, so we're just this is really a rough road through here, and there's a lot of snowpack and washboard on it, and it's also kind of twisty, so I'm getting a feel for, you know, how easy it is to place the van on the road. We've met quite a bit of oncoming traffic and stuff, and that's the nice thing with this van is it's got a lot of window to it. It's really got good 360-degree visibility, and it's really easy to place on the road and determine where the right side of the vehicle is and where the end of the hood is and that kind of thing. A lot of newer vehicles aren't like that. You sit really low down in them, but in this vehicle you sit quite high up. You have a commanding position of the road, and you can still see the hood, the end of the hood, and where it is and that kind of thing. And it makes it pretty stress-free to drive. It's a vehicle that you can just jump in and right away get used to. So we're just going along here at about 60 kilometers an hour, if you wondered, about 40 miles an hour on this road, to give you an idea. And it just it handles it nicely, even though this road is a less than ideal surface. I like that the brake pedal starts engaging right near the top, and it's really quite a nice firm feeling to it, assuring. The one thing I don't like about this van is I find the gas pedal just a little too sensitive, especially on some of the icy areas I've encountered, where it'll just start to spin. And it does have a traction control system, but it doesn't seem to be a very sensitive one. It'll allow it to spin quite a bit before it actually takes over. And there's also a button on the dash right here where you can turn it off, and that could be helpful if you're in a situation where you're stuck in snow or sand or anything like that. It's nice to be able to take that off and let the vehicle spin a bit, but it would be nicer, in my opinion, if it was a bit more sensitive when it was actually turned on. So here we are out on the secondary highway, and we're just going along at 100 kilometers an hour, 60 miles an hour, and you can hear there's, you know, about average road noise for a vehicle like this. Again, not a luxury vehicle or anything. but it's not to the point where you couldn't carry on a conversation nicely inside the vehicle or hear the radio or anything like that. It's quite nice in here, quite livable. Here's a bit of a bump, and it handles it quite nicely. You feel the bump, but it doesn't jar you. Okay guys, we're just at a pretty level spot in the road here, so we're gonna do an acceleration test. I'm not gonna floor it because it will just sit there and spin out, so just gradually, and then okay, and I don't want to go past the speed limit, so, but you know, it has certainly adequate acceleration up to 60, and it does drop off a little after 60. I can tell you doesn't quite have as much passing power as what you're seeing there, but it's still adequate. You can get by cars with it no problem. You're certainly not lacking for power. This has the 3.6 liter V6 in it, and it definitely provides you with adequate power, and from what I understand, they get really reasonable fuel economy as well. So I just wanted to mention that the brakes do actually feel really good in this van, but I did hear that the older vans had problems with brake wear, and the brakes really weren't an adequate size for the vehicle, is what I've heard. So I think they definitely solved that by this point. On this 2020 model here, the brakes seem more than adequate. I really barely have to get on them to slow it down, so they're definitely not being strained or overworked. If you just drive the van sedately, you know, like you normally would a minivan, it accelerates really smoothly and shifts really smoothly. It's not a real sporty transmission or anything, so if you're looking to race around in your minivan, it's might leave you a little disappointed, but other than that, it's, you know, adequate handling, adequate performance for, you know, its intended purpose. Well guys, this is pretty well going to conclude my review of the 2020 Dodge Grand Caravan, and personally I would recommend this vehicle. I think you'll be pretty pleased with one if you do end up purchasing one. So thanks a lot for watching. I do hope you found the video helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have yourself a great day. And again, a big thank you to Go Dodge and Red Deer for providing my parents with this beautiful loaner van so that I could review it for you guys.